Let's go ahead and get underway here. So, as resource management industries embrace technology advancements in logistics, they face ever-changing challenges dealing with the ever-expanding and intricate technology landscape. Adding new logistic technologies can be daunting, and managing multiple vendors can mean duplicate levels of effort, manual data entry, and compatibility issues. The key to managing complexity lies in efficient integration. Here are some of those key topics that we're going to consider today. First one up there, increased revenue. What visibility do you have currently with your fleet? You can't manage what you cannot see, and that's a very bold fact in this day and age. Many organizations try to do that, but it becomes very difficult to try to manage things that you do not have optics on. Under improved safety and compliance, do you have the quantifiable, actionable data to hold your staff accountable and maintain driver compliance? Real-time optics on driver behavior helps mitigate excessive speeding, harsh braking, harsh cornering, even seatbelt violations can be mitigated. Accelerate efficiency. What if you could cut planning and reroute times by 50%? With smart dispatch technology and cross-route optimization, that's easily attainable. Control costs. Do you know how much fuel your truck uses and consumes? How much the idle time is affecting your fuel usage over time? Get visibility to take corrective action against excessive idling and control your fuel usage. Leverage seamless data flow. Integrations through APIs ensure seamless data flow between the fleet maintenance and telematics solutions, which we'll discuss today. This real-time exchange in information allows for more accurate decision-making. So I've given several webinars singling out solutions over my career with AMCS and their individual value, and that's all good. But today we're going to do something just a little bit different. Instead of focusing on a singular solution, I want to discuss three separate solutions that have value unto their own, but when utilized collectively, they multiply that value exponentially. This additional untapped value through automation and efficiency improvements is exemplified through seamless integration, which is simply not attainable with conventional disjointed standalone applications. With this in mind, let's discuss these three solutions that through seamless integration will help your organization evolve further down that digital transformation highway and get you out in front of your competition. So first up on that list, let's discuss AMCS Telematics. This slide showed several areas of the most common challenges facing fleet managers today. We'll kind of briefly touch on some of those points here. Compliance. An example of that would be ensuring DVRs are completed and captured correctly. Also, ELD service for organizations that might require it. Customer service, example, ensuring assets are in the correct areas, tracking stops, meeting the need for optics on your assets in the field. Environmental sustainability, reducing that carbon footprint. That's a top initiative for today's market. Reducing excessive idling and harsh braking and harsh acceleration helps manage and reduce those carbon emissions. Fuel management, being able to track fuel usage as well as ensure that the fuel dispensed matches what is actually inputted into the vehicle. Very important aspect today, especially with the cost of fuel. Productivity, being able to track in real-time asset location when stops and breaks are taken, unscheduled stops are taken, things like that. Again, mimicking what we were talked about just earlier about if you can't manage what you cannot see. And then safety being ensuring that all of your drivers are driving in compliant with the speed limits, not driving sporadically. Are they buckling their seatbelts as they enter out into the roadway? So these are the areas that we're going to address through the solution compilation today. But first up, telematics. So how does the solution accomplish this? Through the compact, contained design, it's easily plug and played through the OBD2 port. This makes setup very quick and easy and makes implementation into your fleet seamless. So on the slide here, what we're looking at is, you can see the little dongle up there in the top upper left-hand corner. It's a very small unit. It has a SIM card in it, and it transmits, it attaches to the OBD2 port. We actually pigtail that off so that it leaves that port open for maintenance, so that maintenance can still do diagnostic without having to remove or uninstall the device. Makes it very useful. That information is captured in real time, continuously, and uploaded into the cloud. That vehicle data is then centralized in the cloud and made available through that AMCS Telematics admin portal there. Integration with fleet maintenance, which is something that we'll discuss a little further on down the line, means that enabling trouble codes or TCSs and other maintenance related telemetry is utilized for preventative maintenance, before a problem becomes critical. Breakdowns are 4 times more costly than the preventative maintenance that's used to prevent them. So being able to have a head up or being able to predict when trouble might arise is something that's very important. This is an example of just again of the installation process for that vehicle, kind of reiterating some of the values and some of the ease of this type of a solution. So installing in minutes, it goes right into that OBD2 port. Over-the-air updates. This means that you don't have to remove that device to be able to do updates or to create or to take advantage of improvements, software improvements, and connectivity benefits. Everything happens seamlessly over the air, so you can rest assured that you don't have to pull these things out as you're trying to do updates to them. The portal, let's talk a little bit about the admin portal. So this portal allows you to have a conglomerate of a lot of information, all that information that's collected, that rich data from the vehicle that would be displayed here from different features such as the hours of operation, mileage, those meter readings, all of that stuff seamlessly and passively captured, provided to this portal here. Tons of dashboards and reports, really putting everything important and clear in a centralized view. There really is an endless customizable real-time dashboards to target particular KPIs and monitor driver safety, vehicle attributes. The ones that would be most impactful to your organization can be displayed. This is very useful as well. These dashboards can be used to drill in directly to those reports. So everything that you see here is a live dashboard, but as you would click on that, it actually brings you right in. You can download it to an Excel format, CSV format, even a PDF format, again, to be able to utilize those reports in whatever capacity you chose. Here's some more examples of some of the dashboards as well to be able to monitor particular KPIs aimed at productivity. So the productivity, okay, good, so we're still on. Productivity. So as you can see here on this particular dashboard, we're able to monitor the driver's safety, seatbelt score, activity of summaries for today, where they're driving, are they in areas that they weren't supposed to be in. These types of dashboards can be used as counseling as well for drivers and to sort of help drivers improve their productivity for the organization. One of the most important aspects of any telematics solution is real-time GPS tracking. Know where your trucks are and what they are doing in real time. See real-time notifications of where they are speeding, driving erratically. Current weather conditions are even being able to be displayed in here so that you can, again, be able to mitigate bad habits, be able to see exactly where those drivers are prior to there being any incident. This is a very useful system allowing your organization to be proactive instead of reactive, being able to see what your drivers are doing before there's a situation rather than just reacting to it after the fact. Managing your driver's behavior, allowing you to coach them on unsafe activities or even out of compliance types of situations for the organization. Reduce your organizational risk overall by being able to have those optics on your drivers and what they're doing in the field. Some granular aspects of what we're able to monitor from the telematic portion is being able to drill into driver speed profiles and monitor if they are adhering to the posted speed limits through the entire route. So this is something that's captured passively. And again, it's not something that you have to be sitting here monitoring it in real time. This is all archived information. You can come back and revisit post or past history events and be able to see exactly what that behavior was like. This enables you to be able to identify some repeat offenders before they would have an incident or an accident or get even a ticketed violation. So you can be able to have these alerts and be able to track that speed profile ahead of time. As we talk about fuel usage, so being able to monitor fuel usage with fuel costs today, this is a very, very imperative aspect for many organizations. So real-time monitoring of the fuel usage or charge efficiency for EV vehicles. It's perfectly capable of tracking that charge efficiency for EV vehicles as well, or CSG, or compressed natural gas, CNG, excuse me, also being able to monitor that. So being able to monitor CO2 usage and trends allows you to be able to see how certain initiatives, say if you were having a harsh idling or extensive idling and you were cutting that down by 5 or 10%, what exactly is the ramifications to that in your CO2 dispense? So you'd be able to track that in here as well. Very extensive reporting and granular reporting. Another aspect is complete end-to-end digital driver verification inspection reports, driver vehicle inspection reports. These are DVIRs in their acronym that are intuitive and easy to use by the drivers. That makes the transition from paper to digital painless. So more and more organizations are making that digital transformation, and this is just another aspect of that we close the loop on. As you can see with this slide, this is showing the driver perspective. This is an application that would go on a cell phone or an existing tablet. Lots of organizations are using tablets right now to track driver proof of service and to track services. So this is just an application that could go on there. It scales to cell phone or to a tablet, or even if you're using it on a PC, it would scale to that as well. The driver DVIR allows the driver to conduct the inspection digitally from a cell phone or tablet, makes it convenient, user-friendly. This info is also synced to the AMCS Telematics admin portal that we were just talking about earlier, and archived. This allows you for a much more effective and efficient way to schedule maintenance or repair requests by allowing them to be able to list defects directly in the solution and have that interface directly with the fleet maintenance, AMCS fleet maintenance. Since everything is digital, you're not having to chase down paper. The DVR or DVIRs, paper DVIRs that could get lost or have illegible handwriting. That's something that we see all the time. My handwriting is definitely not the greatest, so I can definitely relate to that. Another aspect to this as well, it's built in intuitively, is the roadside inspection. So as roadside inspections happen, as vehicles would be roadside inspections, having these eDVIRs make roadside inspections easier and streamlined and less time consuming from the officer standpoint. This is showing an example of how the unit can be locked for roadside inspection, so that if a driver is using this on a cell phone, they don't have to worry about any of their personal data on that cell phone being exposed. With a key code they put in, it locks it out to strictly the ELD, or excuse me, the driver, the DVIR portion of the application, and then the driver would enter in their code, and then their phone would be back to normal operation. Another aspect that's embedded into our telematics solution is the embedded ELD solution. Complete FMCSA certified ELD solution makes it easy for your drivers to stay in compliance with regulatory requirements if this is something that your organization does require. This is embedded directly into the AMCS Telematics, so there's no additional cost or licensing. And this is compliant also in the Canadian market as well. So for those that have business in Canada, this is also fully compliant for that, for those hours of service regulatory needs. What's so nice about this ELD inside the solution is the automation to it. Again, making things easy and intuitive for the drivers. So easy to navigate driver interface ensures accuracy, visibility for both the drivers and the supervisors about that availability. So because, again, this is integrated with the portal, all this information is readily available to the supervisors in real time, so they can see exactly who has availability and what their availability is, and how much time they have for the given day. Are they running ahead of time, behind time? Are they in risk of running out of hours? All of that information is readily available, as well as the reporting capabilities to be able to schedule drivers and see who needs a reset, as an example. Automatic status changes. This makes it very easy for the drivers. If a driver forgets to actually go into drive mode, or they roll out of the yard and they forget to put themselves on duty, as an example, the system intuitively knows, because it sees it from the GPS coordinates, that it's actually moving and where it's traveling, and will automatically place that driver into the correct status. This means that it allows them to be in compliant and not worry about violations that might sneak up on them. And in accordance with that, there are real-time violations that would be, or notifications that would be listed directly on the device for the driver, so that the driver would be able to see and have those visible alerts, as well as, if you look in the background there, it shows the time left. So if the time left has expired here for this particular driver, and it says it's notifying him that if he goes into drive mode, he will be in violation. So again, being able to be proactive instead of just reactive. Having a driver go through his logs later on and then find out he was in violation is not a good situation for any organization to be in. Easily verify those logs. So being able to verify logs is one of those important aspects. Cuts down on time, bringing logs up to date, eliminates paper logging for organizations that might still be using paper logs. And because it's so intuitive and easy to use, drivers do not have a difficult time onboarding and transitioning over to this digital format. For roadside inspections, this is an example as well. Just like the DVIRs or the EDVIRs that we discussed earlier, roadside inspections become much easier and less timely because of this electronic logging. It's very easy for the roadside inspector officer to be able to see that they're in compliance and be able to track their compliance electronically, as well as being able to send log information electronically, which is part of the requirements, at least here in the US for ELD. So if we look over some of the benefits that we've kind of discussed about AMCS and telematics, identifying unexpected stops under the productivity tab, you can see here being able to predict ETAs for customer service, identified unexpected stops as well. So being able to manage your unexpected stops, be able to have better control over what exactly your assets are doing in the field. Fuel management is a huge aspect here. You can see here fuel efficiency by 10%. You can increase your fuel efficiency by 10% if you can be able to manage it. If you can control idling, as an example, that is a dramatic improvement to the bottom line of fuel usage for many organizations that we've been associated with. Safety, being able to track your driver's behavior is crucial as well. Insurance costs and fines are exponentially getting out of control. So being in compliance, ensuring that your drivers are driving in a safe manner, also ensuring that you don't have to deal with any accidents because drivers are understanding that they're being monitored is a way as well. Sustainability, reducing that fuel consumption as we talked about earlier, managing routes, shortening routes, being able to have optics on where these drivers are driving to, ensuring that they're actually in the areas that they're supposed to be as well will cut down on the fuel consumption and also ultimately translate into CO2 savings as well. Compliance, being able to have, for tax reporting, we didn't really talk about that, but having full IFTA compliance. So if you do travel over state lines, being able to know exactly what the mileage that you're utilizing there and the fuel that you've utilized over those state lines is embedded in part of the OEM product as well. And then ultimately expandability, because of APIs, that expandability, being able to connect to other solutions such as AMCS platform, being able to utilize that telematic solution in there. We discussed about AMCS fleet maintenance, being able to have that information seamlessly sent there. So expandability through API is vital in this day and age to ensure that you do not have a siloed solution that is going to pigeonhole you from expansion. So as we were talking earlier about it, I kind of broke this out a little bit to really show some of the benefits, especially when utilizing AMCS with fleet maintenance. So fleet maintenance, seamless integration with fleet maintenance allows you to get those meter readings, as I talked about. That would be the mileage or hours of service or hours of operation, for that engine to be able to schedule PMs. Keeping scheduled PMs up to date is one of the key areas for maintenance. DOT ratings and insurance requirements often rest on scheduled PMs being done on a timely manner and up to date. Maintenance managers' bonuses also are directly related to this metric. So visibility is crucial. With AMCS Telematics, and the AMCS fleet maintenance solution, you can keep those things in check and have visibility to ensure your PMs are much more controlled. If we look at telematics with platform, we kind of briefly discussed this as well, but where does this assimilate and where does this interface with platform? So telematics is grabbing a tremendous amount of telematic data, enriched data off of those vehicles, location, speed, all of that information that can be utilized in our platform. We utilize it in our platform. It can be utilized for locations for contamination events that we have with some of our stuff. 360 safety information can also utilize some of that. That's coming soon from our solution engineers. Weight lifting sensors, you can be able to tag those in so that they can track those events when those particular sensors are triggered. The ability to provide a centralized singular control tower view of the consolidated data allows you to provide better visibility, control, and insight into your fleet. So overall, you're given a robust, detailed monitoring in real time, complete oversight of drivers and vehicle assets to ensure proper adherence to rules on the road, as well as company policies. Integration with platform and fleet maintenance bring all of these real-time enriched data centrally throughout your organization. so that information is readily usable and actionable without having to wait for reports to be generated or run the risk of having human error. All right, moving right along, let's move into Smart Dispatch and Mobile with AMCS. So let's take a quick look at Smart Dispatch and Mobile. AMCS Smart Dispatch and Mobile is a combined dispatch and execution module for our customer logistics activities. It enables AMCS platform customers to be able to centralize their transport and logistic activities, accurately plan vehicle and driver rostering, create smart routes and scheduling with accurately predicted activity times, digitized all route schedules and container management activities directly through the cab for efficient paperless management of logistics using our Android-based mobile applications. Supports multiple lines of businesses, including commercial collections, skips, roll-offs, residential, recycling process flows, etc. The mobile application supports multiple on-vehicle integrations and automated activity completion, including dynamic GPS matching, RFID, onboard weighing, and event completion based on geofencing. So very robust solution, again, centered around automation. Managing and load balancing workloads across the fleet, real-time activity status updates, proactively react to the changes, make the updates in real time. All route planning is done with support of the heavy goods vehicle rules and regulations. So sequence optimization being built in is another key aspect. When you're moving stops around, being able to resequence them seamlessly makes it more actionable and get you to those productive routes quicker. Vehicle and driver resource management. I give this as an example of a really a smart area when we're talking about rostering. Giving a heads up on the availability of the drivers is crucial for any transportation manager or dispatcher. Having an easy to read calendar ensures that vacations, vehicles being down, or preventative maintenance doesn't catch your staff off guard. So in this example here, we're actually being able to see over the month what the routes are, what the vehicles are, and the drivers that we have for those vehicles. And if there is any deficit, we can have a heads up on that prior to getting to that deficit so that we can take proactive measures. So real-time route status and updates. So this is an example. This is a screenshot that I took directly from our Smart Dispatch field. Visibility of the routes in the field, as well as real-time status updates. Proof of service gives visibility to the ETAs and proactively notify customers of exceptions before they pick up the phone and have to call into customer service. So you can see here where it says that it's completed, but if there was an exception to that rule, we could literally be able to automatically action that and be able to notify a customer that, hey, we were here, we were unable to service it due to various reasons, and be proactive about that instead of waiting for them to come in and react to our call center, monopolizing our call center's time. Here I have an example of some of the auto planning aspects of it. So sequencing, being able to allow the solution to intuitively choose what would be the correct routes makes it easier to manage and make adjustments, especially in a breakdown situation where automatic planning becomes indispensable to maintain productivity and efficiency. So if you have a breakdown scenario where you're having to move multiple stops around across resources, intuitively or embedded in our solution is that ability to do that intuitively so that you don't have to worry about, did I accidentally drop this on the wrong route? Am I creating more work, or am I creating a greater distance to travel? The system can interpret that for you and create those optimized situations. We have also in here for cross route, same day cross routing. So again, in that breakdown type scenario, maybe I'm pulling 30 stops off instead of manually moving each of those stops over or taking the group and just dragging and dropping them onto another route. I can literally have the system define the most intuitive way, the most efficient way to satisfy and to be able to satisfy those customer needs in the field across all of my assets. So daily route optimization, I broke this out a little bit to just kind of show compatibilities here and business value with those. We won't go through all those due to time here. I'm kind of running up against it, but single click optimization, again, it's all about simplifying and putting this in a holistic viewpoint for dispatchers to have all that information in front of them to be able to make those right decisions, especially when you're reallocating work due to breakdowns or callouts. Having the ability to run those types of automations around optimization is imperative in this day and age. Being able to do cross-route optimization, again, load balancing, ensuring that I'm not just dragging it all to a single route, that I might be overburdening that route or might be overcapacitizing that route, being able to utilize a system to intelligently tell me what would be the best choices for me. And even further than that, embedded inside of here is being able to maintain our master routes or our reoccurring routes. So being able to visualize where those routes are on the screen, see unplanned orders or new orders in the system, be able to seamlessly insert those incrementally into those routes in real time to be able to create and build long-lasting reoccurring routes. All of that being embedded in the system is crucial. Touching on kind of completing the circle here with the AMCS. So we have a fully embedded, seamlessly integrated PCI compliant AMCS Pay, and it's throughout platform, allowing for payments to be taken and applied to invoices quickly and accurately, whether this is internally through the customer support or externally through self-service customer portals, which we have as well. Giving customers more options to pay increases the customer to cash ratio and also reduces age debt, adding value with every single transaction process. So here are some of the values here, again, in some of the areas that we cover inside of our AMCS Pay, fully compliant, fully PCI compliant, which is important today for sure, and allows it to be very robust and competitive when you're talking about transaction pricing. Let's switch gears to our last solution of the day here. Lastly, we'll take a brief look at AMCS fleet maintenance. We'll kind of discuss some of the areas here. Data accuracy and consistency. API integration ensures that the accuracy and consistency of data between telematics and the maintenance system. This eliminates manual data entry, errors, and provides a reliability foundation for decision-making. Cost reduction, efficiency, integration can lead to a cost savings. For instance, timely maintenance based on telematics data can prevent costly breakdowns and repairs, ultimately reducing that overall maintenance expense for the fleet. Optimized work requests. The integration allows for the optimized generation of work requests based on real-time telematic data. This streamlines the maintenance process, making it more efficient and reducing administrative overhead. Seamless data flow. Again, integration through APIs ensures that seamless data flow of information between fleet maintenance and telematics. This real-time exchange of information allows for much more accurate decision-making capabilities. Real-time diagnostic. API integration enables real-time diagnostic by connecting telematics directly to the maintenance system. Again, being able to calculate those meter readings as we discussed earlier for mileage or hours on the engine hours. This allows for instant identification of the vehicles, leading to quicker troubleshooting and resolution when you're talking about those TCS codes. And eco-friendly practices, integrations that can help promote eco-friendly practices by combining telematics insights with maintenance strategies. This synergy allows for the implementation of measures to reduce fuel consumption, emissions, and overall impact, environmental impact. And so as we circle back, we tie back to those challenges and how collectively these solutions work together. I've highlighted some of the areas here, which we've already gone and discussed the features. Let's look at the benefits here: reducing downtime, reducing vehicle maintenance costs for productivity, inducing driver and vehicle productivity. So really we can reduce vehicle downtime by an average of what we've seen across the organizations by 12%. Customer success, improving that performance to schedule by increasing that route efficiency, having those optics, again, communicate accurate ETAs to customers, all that ties in. When we were talking about fuel, which again is on the hot button and quite a hot topic today, reduction of fuel costs, what we've seen across our organizations that we deal with, an overall percentage of about 10% reduction just by being able to manage something as simple as excessive idle time can really have a dramatic impact to the bottom line. Safety, reducing overall driver speeds, reducing injury and property damage. This is improving that driver and public safety. This is, again, because of this seamless integrations between this, because of this cross-sharing, sharing and centralization of that data flow. This enables you to be able to create better initiatives and understand more of what's going on with your fleet. That overall will give you a much better perspective and ensure safety. Sustainability, again, when we're talking about that with fuel reduction goes lower CO2 emissions hand in hand. So being able to reduce mileage due to efficiency and better routing, and also being able to eliminate idle or harsh braking, harsh acceleration type events, which burn more fuel as well, you're able to make an environmental impact and reduce CO2 emissions. And then compliance, being able to automatic reporting for compliance, increasing that productivity of those reporting, so cutting down on administrative costs, avoiding vehicle downtime through diagnostic vehicle inspection reports. This helps you avoid fines and extra insurance costs as well. So again, very useful. And lastly, that expands single repository for that rich vehicle data, all of that being centralized and allowing for future expansion and growth means that you've future-proofed your organization, especially when you're talking about evolving down that digital transformation highway. And with that, I will close. I think I'm right on time here. These are some QR codes. If there's, obviously, I went through a very high level overview of these solutions and how they kind of tie together. If you'd like to have a little bit more information, though, you can use this, take a screenshot of this, be able to scan those QR codes, and they'll take you directly into those areas of interest on our website.